So I'm back just to do a quick follow-up video on the digital dash of the Imperial. And some of you guys are wondering about the functionality of the dash. And so I'm now knowledgeable fully on what each thing does. We're at 8:19 at night. And first of all, dash can go over to metric. And we have the button's a little funky. We have the date. We have the elapsed time that the car has been on, which is 14 minutes. Then we have a trip odometer, and we have an average speed readout. And then we have a range. We have a present fuel economy, which I demonstrated the other day. I know the video wasn't the greatest, but yeah, that it can only be demonstrated while driving, unfortunately. And then we have the total trip miles per gallon too. And so we have all these different things, and then plus we have reset to 0. And I found this manual that came in the nice folder, and this is for an 81. This car's an 82. Interesting, the person bought it at the very end of 81. Not this specific car, but wherever this manual came from. And this has the electronic instrument cluster control little tent, fold out tent thing. You're supposed to fold this out and put it on your dash, I guess, to figure it out if you're sitting here. Remember, this is 1980-81, so this is an era of people that are not very good with technology like kind of we are today. And so, and a lot of older people would be buying this car. And older during that era would be people born like 1900, 1910, 1920. And so they were not born into the computer era. And I think that's interesting to note. So here's the display and each part of the display. And then it has a whole thing about definitions of each function. And fuel low. And fuel display range. And gives you definitions of each thing, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, on the other side here, as I mentioned, it shows the controls themselves. And then over here, it shows the actual dash with the AM/FM radio, digital radio. And I guess I can fold card for freestanding instrument control reference. So I guess I could put it on top of the dash or something. I don't know. Like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. Let me look at what I'm doing while I'm driving. Okay. And this being an 81 manual, of course, the 81 manual's in here. There's a warranty book. 82s are very much the same. Eventually, I'll get another 82 manual. I just haven't found one for a decent price. A few people want too much money for them. And this is where you can get your Imperial serviced. Of course, every one of these dealers ended up washing their hands of the fuel injection system, probably, and didn't want anything to do with it. Hence the swap outs to carburetor, because people back then had no idea what to do with fuel injection. And they start here with all alphabetical order. Let's see, in California, who can work on my car? Oh, Huntington Beach. A lot of these dealers are no longer around. Mission Chrysler Plymouth, which was near me, and O'Leary, all these are all gone. Van Nuys near me, all these Southern California ones are gone, that I know of. Or they've had like 4 or 5 owners since. Glendale, Huntington Beach, Long Beach. It's a very interesting list. It says, to the Imperial owner, the new Imperial has been designed and manufactured to provide total ease of operation. Chrysler's program of dedication to customer satisfaction was implemented to ensure that you receive the finest possible service. This book contains a listing by city and state of dealers who have specially trained personnel and diagnostic equipment to properly and efficiently service your Imperial. And then you take it to them, and they would never be able to figure out this lovely EFI system, which I have on right now. A New Direction by the New Chrysler Corporation. So it's a pretty interesting manual and manual book, the books in here, and the manual, and here's the warranty here. And this is at a really bad time for Chrysler, like really, really bad. Really bad. Oh, let's see what's here. See, this is what happens when you never open anything. Owner's obligations. Here, these were for the Arrivas, the Goodyear Arrivas that came with it. This has consumer information. And this tells you the tire load, brake power unit failure, maximum load. And this tells you all sorts of interesting information. Tire quality grading. And here's the recommended inflation. Interesting. I did not see that in there before because I've never actually opened this. And let's see if no, just a manual. But that's okay. So there's some cool stuff in here. Like I said, this car is an 82, but everything's exactly the same for manuals. Except the manual for 82 is silver. I have one in the Sinatra one. And all that stuff goes back in here. Let's see what this book is. Let's see what it says. If it says anything interesting. Oh, this is from the gift. This is from the leather folio set. This will be a subject of another video, which I do have one of these. They had two leather folio sets. They had a large one and a smaller one, and they came with an umbrella, the key fob with the Mark Cross leather insignia, and the keys, the Imperial keys with the Chrysler Pentastar. And it says here, we believe the fine craftsmanship of these articles reflects not only your good taste in selecting Imperial, but the elegance which distinguishes Imperial as America's newest personal luxury car. So yeah, so this is a thank you, and it was a mail away that you could get through the dealer. And so a lot of people didn't get it, but it came with a Mark Cross umbrella, which I actually have one in this particular car, and my Sinatra as well. And then it came with the other articles as well. And this car is a very exclusive car. That's missed on a lot of people now, all these decades later, that the Imperial was far ahead of its time, and it was a very distinguished vehicle and very expensive. Movie stars had them. Famous people, Muhammad Ali, Bob Hope, Frank Sinatra, etc. And there's, of course, the famous possibly apocryphal story of Sinatra getting stuck in one. And but it's pretty fun, and they're great cars. And EFI or carb, they're good. I prefer the EFIs, even though they're harder to work on, because I like to have the original experience. And so anyway, that is the deal for today for the 82 Imperial, and I hope you had fun watching, as much fun as I had making this video, and looking at that manual and looking at the functionality of the dash. Have a great night.